We'll give you that.
And so I think maybe that's just like one of those things where it's like, what's the rate for owls? You just get to make it up if you sell owls.
It's just it's like, God, you get into there and there's just all this animal entrapment. What else was I thinking about? Would you let your children well, I want to talk to you a little bit more about directing. So, because Argo you directed. Right? And did you care about the Middle East? How much were you like a Middle East guy? I knew I've read some.
Not really. I did study the Middle East in school, and so I understood about it. I wouldn't make a movie that I didn't. It'd be like making a movie with you and not getting your humor, right? Like it would just be crazy. Like as the director, you got to care more, be more interested in that movie than everybody else. Everyone else is going to be bored of it, right? And you got to love it the whole time through. So the big key is like, this is going to be interesting to me. There was a lot of things that were interesting to me about that movie. One was the real story, the CIA agent who had done it, the people that I met and talked to at the CIA, the actual nature of like intelligence work versus, what you have seen with like super spy shit that's not really realistic. And this story was really interesting to me. And also I thought it was like the fact that they had this like bizarre connection to Hollywood and this Hollywood makeup artist and that we were trying to bridge those two worlds was really interesting to me. But it was a scary, challenging movie because the director's main job is tone. Right, like that's the main. That's what the director is going to really create is like, what's the tone of this? Like, what's the vibe? Is this serious? What are we interested in? Like, what do we consider funny? What do we, all those things that go into all the choices we make in life, from the car you get, the clothes you buy, all that. What is your taste? And not everybody's going to like it, right? Some people, it's just not going to be their taste. You got to at least make it as good as you can to your own taste, to, like you said, your own instincts.
Yeah, you got to find that tone that matches, because people want to believe they're going to expect a certain tone from you as well. I think
Yeah, and when when that tone doesn't work, you're like, this is kind of crass, this cheese is fucking, you know what I mean, corny. It's like it seems silly or whatever, and it's like because you're asking someone to take something seriously that they can't take seriously, or think is funny that they don't think is funny, and that's where it's a tricky kind of nebulous job, but that's the most interesting to me, important thing about it, and that's would
you let your children act? Do you think?
Well, I wouldn't let them act professionally while they were children, no. But I would let if they want to do plays and shit and make their own kind of stuff with their friends, that's fine with me. I don't think it would be, I don't know judgment against people that do it. I've done playing movies with child actors and stuff, and that's fine. From my experience acting as a kid, and what I want for my children is not that. But also you got to understand that then they, I got a 19-year-old, I got one 16, I got one 13.
Oh wow,
they can make their own choices.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Right, as a dad, you just like that. Is that got to be tough when you're a dad? Like you kind of have already lived some life, so you were like, and not even about acting, it's about anything. And then your kid is kind of like making it, like, is that, and you don't want to like probably push them too much, or like, because then you're pressuresome, dude. That's got to be a real like walking a police line or something.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole job of life. It's like for me before I had kids, I didn't really realize what my life was about, and then this becomes the central challenge of your life. And if you have everybody has complications and tricky shit in their life, and that's part of being a parent, is managing that with what kind of life am I bringing my kids into, making a good life for my children. How do and that's part of that. Is my kids are growing up out here in LA. I didn't grow up in LA. I never met a famous person or an actor or anything. That shit just seemed like a million miles away to me, and totally
for sure. If you're in the rest of the world, it feels so far away, and then you forget after you're here for a while how far away it seems to other people. Like, if you meet, like just anybody who was in, and it just like, that's like, it was a.
Dude, I remember I was 12 years old in Boston, and I saw Christopher Lloyd, who played the dude on Back to the Future, and I saw him walking down the street. I think he was doing a play. Yeah, exactly. I followed the guy for like 6 blocks. Like now I'd be like, there's this fucking 12-year-old kid following me, right? You know what I mean? Like I stalked him. Like I couldn't believe it that it was the guy from Back to the Future. I lost my mind.
Yeah.
And it was the only, celebrity, famous, whatever person I'd ever seen or know. And so my kids are now, they're seeing different stuff. Some of it's useful for them because it disabuses them of some illusions that I think are worth being disabused of. And also, but I'm also like, I don't look, they're going to, their kids are going to kind of be and do who they are, what they want to do, which your job is to let them know that they're loved, that keep them safe, provide them opportunities, and also not you got to resist the temptation to try to get everything out of the way for them, because you're not going to learn anything or develop any grit or resilience if shit's just easy.
Yeah,
for
that's crazy. I never even thought about that. It's like you're watching them walk and there's something kind of in their path. And if you take it away completely, then they're not going to learn how to deal with an obstacle.
Yeah.
But if you leave it there, then you're going to have to watch them go through an obstacle. That's got to be crazy.
And it's like hard watching your kids, even trying to climb over something. Your instinct is to pick them up, take them over. But you have to, like, yes, you don't want them to put their finger in a socket, you know what I mean, or off a cliff. But that doesn't mean life has to be hard.
Yeah.
It has to be difficult in some ways. It doesn't have to be, shouldn't be traumatic, shouldn't be, awful or painful, but things have to be hard for you to learn to do hard things.
Yeah.
And this world, like it or not, is going to demand that you do hard shit. If you want to have anything, if you want to be able to provide for your own family, have your own dreams, have, the things that you want to have, because if you don't do it, the guy next to you is going to